Hello and welcome to Captain's Log. I am Captain Blue Rogue, and I am just a guy. I'm literally just a guy. I'm a dad here in the good old US of A. Collapsing hellscape around us. You know, what more needs to be said? Part of the country's on fire. People are just arguing back and forth. Social media networks are in disarray. People fleeing and just seeing just blatantly how the billionaire stuff has uh, come out in the open. But it's fine. Uh, Everything is functioning as intended. Nothing fundamentally changed in the past 4 years, and that's why these next 4 years are just going to be more of the same to a more extreme level. With nothing held back. It's going to be, yeah. But I'm just a guy who, regular person. I own a house. I'm fortunate enough to have a mortgage. Well, you're more fortunate if the mortgage is paid off, but I'm not that privileged. Um, got one kid. Would like to have another, but uh, we'll see what the people who want to encourage family growth actually do to incentivize family growth, and giving families what they need to feel confident in growing. Because if you're gonna preach throw some people out, uh, why are you not also then incentivizing our own population to flourish? Um, but that would make sense. Um, I'm just a guy. I have a normal job. My wife has a normal job. Like the normal nuclear family. I have hobbies. I play video games. I love spending time with my son. He loves music and dancing, and I play instruments. I don't practice them as often as I should. I try to make goals for myself to work on both working on my mental health, because if you don't acknowledge that there's a mental health crisis in this country, you're clearly not paying attention in this country. Um, but I gotta prioritize mental health, and then my child, because if you aren't taking sufficient care of yourself, there's no way in heck you can sufficiently take care of a child, which is something that should be very much at the forefront. Um, House, getting the household just basics done. Even if the house is a mess, there's a great book. It's called How to Keep House While Drowning. I recommend it. But like it is, and then after that comes games. But if, and by that same token, if getting stuff done and making meaningful progress in games, or using games as a tool to unwind after a stressful day, um you know and only and one of the things I like about Final Fantasy 14 is you can walk in and out as needed. So that's one of the only, other than the day of the stream, that's one of the only games I play for leisure, and it gives me a checklist to do and tangible goals to work towards that tick off those dopamine boxes that help with my mental health. Um, so I'm a normal person. I'm doing this as a record to show my son or kids, if I'm fortunate enough to have more in the future. We actually asked Cupcake last night if he would be interested in a baby brother or sister, and it's like I mean, he's not 3 yet, but even though he watches things like Bluey, where sisters are mentioned, or but brother and sister are mentioned a lot in different shows and whatnot. So like, uh, he's not unfamiliar with the concept, but I don't know if he's familiar. He can fully grasp that idea yet, but we'll see what the future brings. So we're thinking about it, but it's everything's up in the air here in the year 2025, and normal people just want to get by and do their best to live in this world. That's all anyone's asking for. All people are asking for is an equal chance to do just that. And I'm here to just say, hey, there are some just white guys who like. There's a lot of stereotypes about white guys and their basements, waxing political, and it's like, yeah, I'll talk politics, but I'm just here to be a normal person and show my posterity that I am on what I view as the right side of history, which is, you know, it's what a good percentage of the country agrees with, is what I believe in, bread and butter working people issues that don't involve carpet destroying civilians. um I just want to see people be happy and be their best selves, and try to be my best self, and encourage my kids to be their best selves, and leave behind a record of myself that my dad never really left behind for me. All I've got are some of his songs and some memories, the good and the bad, which is 50-50. Um, but enough of that. Let's get into the theme song of Captain's Log. This is time to start. And I have borrowed my son's saxophone because the orange key on mine, the string doesn't close all the way. So I think it's a good thing I bought plenty of replacements, because this one is going. Or, well, that one is going. Woo. Anyway, so my week. This was my first full week back doing my job, aside from Monday the holiday. Um, so it was all right. I made it through. I've got some fighting to do about one particular piece of equipment I have to use. They swapped it out on me while I was gone, and there's a lot of issues with the one they gave me. So there's a fight I'm fighting at work for that. Um, but yeah, that's life is pretty much back to normal. I'm moving still a little slow because I got muscle I gotta build up, and I finally stubbed my toe on something today. First time since I broke it. One of the chairs in the dining room. It didn't hurt for too long. Just more of a, oh yeah, that hasn't happened yet. Uh, it's it's going good. It's getting easier to walk normal, and it's mostly been dealing with any ice and snow that's been around. Yeah. Oh, my car. Yeah, that was $1,000, which it is what it is. It is what it is. And you just gotta kind of roll with the punches, and uh, that's most Americans can't keep. Uh, don't have even a couple hundred in their savings for an emergency, and yeah, it's rough when things like that happen, especially after you've just done maintenance on your wife's car, which is significantly older than your own. Um, it's great. Um, any raises to your paycheck are eaten away by how the increase in your health insurance costs. Uh, great system we've got. But yeah, the week was pretty much getting back to stock standard. We have a new microwave, so we're back to the routine of I get home and Cupcake gets up from his nap after I've been home for a little bit, and then I wake get you up after you've had I've got the popcorn and Bluey pulled up on the TV, and we sit and we watch Bluey together, and it's awesome because you're watching a great show with moments that you may not quite understand, but enjoy some of the funny stuff and the fun and the happiness. But I love Bluey. Bluey is the TV, and even uh, my own mother, which, funnily enough, on the topic of Bluey, goes by Nana to her grandchildren. Uh, so she was like, "Wow, this is much different than anything I've seen for kids before." And it's like, yeah, it's so good. I could go on about Bluey all day, and so good cake. But the cake just finished her first run through the series. She hasn't gotten through all the minisodes yet, but she finished her first full run through, which is awesome. Um, very happy to have her, but she's now that and since my mom visited in December, where we essentially finished up a run through and started a new one. We basically lapped cake again. So we're back to we're like halfway through season one, and she's like, I don't remember these episodes because it just took her so long to get through it. And it's like, they're only 8 minutes. You just gotta watch them. But said before, social media and Blue Sky. Cake has gotten big into Blue Sky, which is weird because she's always been big into Reddit, just not interacting or doing anything. She's a Reddit lurker, but like I would see memes or whatnot or get information, and she'd be like, "Yeah, I saw that like 3 days ago." That's old news. Uh, and have only recently got on the Reddit. Well, I say recently, like I started on it to try to promote streaming stuff or YouTube stuff. Uh, right back before my son was born. Right around the time my son was born, actually. That was a week, man. One Piece Gear 5 and so I had a theory and I made a huge video and yeah, nothing happened. No views and it was meh. Like they say, the first video you put on YouTube's always the worst. It wasn't actually the first one I've ever put on YouTube, but first one there. Anyway, moving on. I don't even think you can find that anymore. Pretty sure I got rid of that. We are. Yeah, I have completely derailed the week. It's just been stock standard, and I mean, I had my streams, and Mandy peed on the couch, and she peed on one of my work shirts that had fallen off the floor after one of Cupcake's baths. Um, so we've had to do some extra laundry, but like my goal board will show, I have not been as diligent with the litter box upkeep as I was pre breaking my toe. I'm working my way to getting back there, but I'm still not great. And even with clean litter boxes, she will still occasionally get the couch. Oh, and we've had a few water bottle or water cup leaks with Cupcake's water. So not having to wash cushions, but dry cushions a couple times. Uh, wah, 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 wah. Anyway, let's move on to watching, playing, and doing. Obviously, I've been playing a lot of podcast catch up at work this week. I finally caught up fully on Crystal Island Friends and Bad Faith. So I haven't even started catching up on because Preach didn't put out Drama Time for a hot second. Oh, and I caught up with the weekly show with Jon Stewart. And I obviously with getting the new phone, I had to re-download previous things that I downloaded. But Video Game History Hour finally started back up with the podcasting. Video Game History Foundation. I highly endorse them and the work that they do. So I'm gonna be listening to them soon. I have some of the Lovers Master Plan. Got some episodes of that to watch. So Drama Time. And gotta be done. I jump back into the Bluey podcast. Gotta have that uplifting content to listen to, you know. Like Drama Time's great for humor, but and Bad Faith and Breaking Points and anything by the Lover is good for politics. But we need some and Oh yeah, was a King of the Hill podcast that just sort of fell off the face of the planet mid-pandemic. That I really liked listening to. Um, those girls were hilarious. One of their moms got sick, and the podcast just sort of stopped, vanished. Cartoons That Curse has been multiple hiatuses and promising, oh yeah, we got a new format you're really gonna love, and every time it's like, yeah, we're sorry we've been gone, but this new format we've been working on it. It's gonna be great, and then nothing. Um, that's fine. It's fine. This is what I'm actually watching, playing, doing. Skies of Arcadia once again, which I am playing tonight on Twitch. Pluto Reservoir. I'm playing it, doing it, getting it done. Yeah, that is the big thing. Every week, Skies of Arcadia, and then on Thursdays, we're still working our way through Xbox. We had previously done Fable 1 and 2, or no, Halo 1 and 2, and then Fable 1 and 2. So this past Thursday, I did Halo 3 and Fable 3. And, uh, man, I might just have to play through all three of the Fable games again. Albion is just calling to me, and I got a Vero notification. What? I'm in here, buddy, but I'm doing a show. Oh, you're asking where I'm at. That's so cute. It's so cute. Where's Daddy? Where's Daddy? Where's Daddy? Um, watching. Ooh, I'm caught up on Detective Conan. I've been ignoring the One Piece Fishman Island remake. Mostly because of it. Cake and I are like at the tail end of Punk Hazard right now. Whenever we do get the chance to watch an episode before uh, I have to go to sleep. Um, well, she worked all December, and then and I was out, and then now she's off January, and I'm back to work. So it's like trying to fit in a nightly thing to do together. It's nights are rough. Um, especially when I should be going to bed earlier and getting 6 hours or more of sleep, and I'm not. I'm not, and I should be. It would help my mental health so much with my brain chemistry. Um, I lost my train of thought. It has left the station, ladies and gentlemen. So we're just gonna move on to Politipop Theater. Um, that's where we have my very good friend and co-host Log. Say hi to everyone, Log. See, now if you couldn't tell, Log can't speak. So we have my other good friend here, Frog, who will act as Log's interpreter. So how you doing today, Frog? Well, to tell you the truth, I've been better. I'm feeling pretty
pretty down, and I don't know why.
Could it be because, things aren't going so well in the country? Or, you know,
Well, I've been trying real hard to put myself in other people's shoes, and this whole ceasefire thing, I'm looking at it from the perspective of those Palestinians, Americans in places like Michigan, who voted for Trump and are very much celebrating the ceasefire right now. But everyone pretty much knows that the ceasefire is going to be continually violated by Netanyahu and the state of Israel, and they're not just they're going to violate the ceasefire. They're going to go after the West Bank too, and like it's I can't even imagine like the people who voted for Trump, the Palestinian Americans who voted for Trump in places like Michigan, and he got this. He put the little bit of leverage that he had, which was Biden clearly could have done, and just didn't because he's the Zionist coward. Um, who capitulates to whatever the state of Israel wants, just like a lot of the other people in DC. But you know,
are you sure you should be saying so much about the DC and the people who run?
I mean, I'm talking. This is a piece of wood underneath me, so if I am merely the interpreter of log, and if there's a problem with that, then too bad. First Amendment should pertain to both amphibians and uh, wood, but it definitely does apply to humans. So I think we're pretty safe here.
I mean, you do raise a good point. So it's it's a touchy subject, but but you're right. Putting yourself in the shoes of people like that, you're right. I can't imagine what people like them are thinking, knowing that it's how yes, their family members are safe now, but it's how long, and are they in the time that there is a ceasefire, are they going to have a chance to get out and get someplace safe? How swiftly is the West Bank going to be just besieged? As I you raise a lot of good points for a log and an amphibian. I mean, a lot of good points.
I mean, well, I've done a lot of thinking about it, and just hearing, especially when the mainstream media just continues to brush something aside, and then anytime someone talks about it, they call them an anti-Semite or whatever. It's like, no, you need to make clear that you are talking about the state of Israel and Netanyahu carrying out a genocide against the Palestinian people. Like, it's undeniable. The numbers are all there, and it's it's pretty disgusting, especially after all the genocide talk they did about Russia and Ukraine. The double standard is just staggering, and it needs to stop. Um, yeah, I. But hey, you think about the Obama to Trump voter, and them seeing all those rich, powerful people right behind Trump instead of their representatives. And it's like, oh, well, maybe we made a mistake. It's like, well, maybe we need to put forth some candidates who will actually change and who are front and center, not bought by those billionaires or any billionaires. Support grassroots fundraising candidates and campaigns with values and policies that will actually work for American people. It's not a hard formula to figure out, and I it makes my tiny frog head hurt, and at least Log doesn't have a head to hurt, but sometimes some bark falls off of him, and that can feel great, can it?
No, it cannot. Thank you very much. Log and frog, ladies and gentlemen. Uh, and we're gonna move on to why I love it. Oh, and since I'm wearing a Doctor Who shirt, I bet you're thinking, hey, this guy's gonna start talking about Doctor Who or something, which I already did, like ages ago. So I'm gonna pull this out, and you're gonna think, hey, wow, maybe he's talking about Stephen Colbert. No, Stephen Colbert, and here's a very rare why I don't love it. Stephen Colbert. I love Stephen Colbert when he was on the Colbert Report. He was so funny when he was being his character. It was so brilliant. The satire, as there has not been satire before or since that has matched what Stephen Colbert did on the Colbert Report, and it is especially political satire. So much of it was brilliant. Um, but obviously he because he was so brilliant, they recruited him to one of the major media networks, and hey, he became one of the guys. He's just one of the late night hosts who, I mean, John Oliver has a little more freedom to bust chops, uh, but it's, Colbert's a sellout now. He's become unbearable to watch, and just a huge disappointment. Why I love it. Let's talk about the guy who led to Stephen Colbert and the Colbert Report, and just amazing American, Jon Stewart. And this can go back directly to the conversation I had with Log and Frog about the Israel Palestine situation. Like, and you know that there's something going on when you have prominent Jewish celebrities such as Jon Stewart who are calling it a genocide, speaking out. Like, it's clear. Like, Jon Stewart has never pulled punches. That's why his Apple TV show and podcast got the plug pulled, because he wanted to interview Lena Khan because of the great work she was doing. And Apple, being one of the big companies sitting behind Trump at the inauguration, the CEO of Apple, um, they yeah, they didn't want him interviewing Lena. They basically said no, and that's why his Apple TV show and podcast sort of abruptly ended. And now he's back with Comedy Central doing the Daily Show, 1.05 days a week. And he's got the weekly show podcast, which is great because he has the same type of smart people around him, doing great work, and he's done so much good work for the first responders, for 9/11, or victims of of burn pits in Afghanistan and Iraq. Like, he such great humanitarian work. If he would ever actually, and he's gone on the record multiple times saying he won't run, uh, because he's dealt with Washington, he's seen how disgusting it is, and what a mess it is, and I don't blame him for not wanting any part of that. But like, 100%, if someone were to be able to pick up the mantle of someone, a celebrity people could get behind, Jon Stewart would be way up of that list. Um, that just speaks to what kind of person he is, what kind of character he is, um, and that's I know it says why I love it, but it's why I love him and the work he's done. It's just so fantastic, and I enjoy just about everything he puts out. Cupcake, please don't come in here right now. Um, we I just and I had that idea just last minute. I'm like, oh, I don't have a while of it, and then I'm like, wait, no, why don't I just talk about Jon Stewart? Oh, I don't have anything. Oh, wait, I've got my Colbert picture that I usually keep mounted above the fireplace downstairs, but brought it up for this. It's We need to rotate art around the house anyway. We've had the same art hanging up since we moved in. Um. Anyway, let's move on to the next one. My weekly goals. So, um. By the way, live performance, of My Sweet Lord by George Harrison. I tried working on learning to play it. It is, no, okay. I tried it, and it was proving to be a little more than I had bargained for, with the way that the key changes and like changes again, and it's like, okay, so it's I think I'm going to put that on a list of ones that I want to do in the future, because I definitely want to learn to play on guitar. Um, and sing. It's such a nice song. Instruments I practiced a couple days this week. Letterbox I got 3 days, which and the frustrating thing was like, well, Wednesday I cleaned them after she peed. It was like it wasn't that long, but animals get fed and watered. Oh, Bunny, one of my chinchillas, Bunny. Uh, and it only happens when Cake is cooking with the oven, and she was cooking bacon. Uh, but Bunny had a seizure again today, and fine now. When it happens, I basically, just kind of open up the cage and hold her, and till the nerves reset and the she resets enough to be able to stand on her own and move around the cage, and then I also left the door open, and she was not so much but more, and sort of also projectile peeing, and it's like and then Cake pointed out, yeah, no, it hasn't been an issue because I haven't been cooking stuff like bacon in the oven, or on the stove, or I can't remember, is the oven or the stove, but yeah, it's some things, which is it's sad. We just all we can do, and luckily I have experience around uh, dealing with seizures, so I'm able to the only thing you can do is to hold the person or animal and just keep it from doing anything that could harm itself or themselves. Yeah, that's the biggest thing. Um, so that was lovely today. But yeah, like I was talking about before, like the games help with my mental health, checking those dopamine boxes. I am ooh, Amaro watch. Let's go to my Excel spreadsheet. So Amaro watch. Back in so back in December 20th, so 1 month ago. Oh wait, no, let's go back even further. Um, oh, I hadn't tallied all of it up at that point, did I? Uh, boo. Okay, so in a month, so December 20th, I had 399 levels to go in Final Fantasy 14. And that like total across all the classes. And well, classes, jobs, whatever. Um, Either or. Um, Now I'm at 294. I haven't even done my dailies today. Which I will, when I do my Allied Society quest for Viper, I'll hit 100. So Allied Society, yeah. My Amaro mount, which I've been working hard towards, uh, a month ago. Well, okay, a little more than a month ago. Uh, 78 levels to get tomorrow. Now that's down to 34, which is only across 5 jobs. Astrologian, which is 79. Black Mage is 74. And then the 3 range DPS class jobs. And doing this sort of by armor type. Because previous ones were like monk, which paired with samurai, and samurai was already maxed. And same with what, ninja and reaper. Ninja was maxed, but reaper was the next. So it's like or no, vice versa. Reaper maxed, and then ninja was, or one of the no, ninja first, then reaper. Whatever, it doesn't matter. Anyway, point is, I'm getting there. I'm making progress, and we had our reservoir game. Not doing so hot on the sleep thing, but it is what it is. I'm struggling to reduce usage and reliance on certain things. Trying to work on anger management, and it's rough. Doing everything I need to do and bettering myself and being a good human is rough. But we all deal with that. So anyway, since I'm not doing a live performance today, I'll try to think of something for next week. Maybe I'll pull out the cello and work out on the cello solo for Cafe. So I really listening to the Bluey album every time I get to Cafe, and it switches from the lo-fi piano to the cello. Ah, so good. Love it. It just moves me every time and makes me want to just pull out my cello and go at it. Cello being my first instrument, primary instrument, the one I was best at my peak. Besides voice, which definitely have not been exercising, but is what it is. Yeah, anyway. Cupcake, we are coming up on nap time for you, so I'm going to end this now because then I am going to do some R&R before my Skies of Arcadia stream tonight over at twitch.tv/Blue Rogue Reservoir. As of right now, I might change it to Captain Blue Rogue just for consistency. Yeah, we'll see. Anyway, have a lovely evening, and Cupcake, I love you, and you and your mom are the best things to happen in my life. I want you both to always remember that. And if we have more kids, that also includes you guys too. But have a good time. Bye.